Welcome back to this Derry Connections special series. Right now we have a favorite, Steve Falconer, organizer of the Derry Parade, and also you're part of the Rotary Club.
Derry Village Rotary Club.
Okay, yes. So talk a little bit about yourself first of all, and how you got involved and how many years you've been a part of the parade.
Well, I've been involved in the parade for about 4 or 5 years, and then initially came through my involvement with the Derry Village Rotary Club. The Rotary Club members, a lot of them are the volunteers for that day of the parade and parade committee.
Yeah.
The parade's been going on for 21 years. I believe this is the 21st year. And a couple of years ago, Steve Dente, who had been chairman for maybe 10 years or so, said it was time for a little shift and asked me if I'd be willing to be the chair. So,
Yeah.
so this will be my third parade that I've been chairman of.
That's great, great. What's the theme this year, by the way?
This year's theme is Tune In for a Derry Holiday.
Okay.
We've had a couple of themes. People might remember we did Holidays on Broadway. We do holidays past, present, and future.
Right.
What we like to do is give a theme where people can have a little bit of play.
Yeah,
You know, Derry Broadway or New York Broadway.
Yeah,
People did a lot with
many
that.
meetings to it. Right.
Yeah.
It gives
And
us-
the tune is people can do a cartoon kind of theme, or they can do something with music or whatever.
Okay.
And the groups are pretty creative.
Who's announcing this year?
This year it's Bill Gardocki. He's a favorite. He's been doing it for years and years and years.
Yeah.
I don't know who his sidekick's going to be this year. Scott Kingsley, who was his sidekick last year, lives out in Hampton. I think he's got another commitment on that day.
How
Bigger
did you get involved, and why did you get involved with the?
Well,
Rotary
I had a career with Verizon Communications, and when I did that, it was pretty much a lot of traveling and whatnot, and we were encouraged to give the United Way.
Yeah.
And when I came out and became self-employed, I was looking for some way to get involved in a charitable organization, and maybe something that was a little more hands-on than just sending a check to the United Way.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit of the behind-the-scenes look of organizing a parade. When do you start organizing it, and how does it develop?
Okay, we have a standing committee of about 20 members, and generally we'll meet sometime midsummer. You know, kind of everybody's like, oh no,
Right.
not the Christmas parade.
I know
already.
it. I know it.
But generally that meeting is just say like, okay, we're good to go for this year, and what do we want for a theme?
Yeah.
And you get that out there, and then the initial letters are sent out by the chamber office of who's in and out this year and stuff like that, and then they take the feedback at the chamber office and organize it for us. And then what we do is we take in right about now, or as we're having this interview in the beginning of November, we start deciding, okay, what does the lineup need to be? You got to
Right.
spread the bands out. We have 7 bands this year. Naturally, we have Pinkerton leads us off every year. We have Londonderry, Salem High School, Alvern, who started last year, so this is their second year.
Great.
Then we have the 2 middle school bands, the Hood Middle School and the West Running Brook Middle School, both march. And then we have the Wyndham Community Band, which
Yeah.
participates every year. They ride on the back of a flatbed and play. Well, this year it looks like we're going to have about 26 to 28 floats again. You know, we had the schools participate, churches, businesses in town participate. Rigatoni's is always in there with a float and activity. Lisa usually gives out bags of pasta to folks.
Yeah. Right.
T-Bones usually puts a lot of effort into their float, and they're in again this year, so it'll be good to see
Free
what they come up
food.
with.
All right.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah. So, and then, you know, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, the different dance ensembles. I call them the Misses, you know, Miss New Hampshire, Miss Derry, Miss Greater Derry, whatever. They're participating. Different town organizations. Like I said, the police are supporting as they do their thing for
Right,
traffic
right.
control. Fire department comes as they provide the big red sleigh for the jolly fat fellow and his wife. So, you know, it's just a nice thing, and with the challenging environment around us this year with the economy and everything, I think it'd just be nice to have a community event where everybody can just come. It's free. Bring the kids, bring the grandparents. Everybody gets together and hopefully sets off a nice day for them. Park and Rec usually has their tree lighting and their activities at the rec center afterwards. Just a way to let people get into the spirit.
Right.
Oh, we do start the parade off too, the Derry Village Rotary Club, with a food drive.
Oh, that's
So
that's a good
before we
point.
step off at 1 o'clock, they have a truck and the guys come with the shopping carts, and folks can donate a canned good or boxed non-perishable, And what's happened lately, a lot of times is folks will reach in, give us $5 or $10 a piece,
Right
and
on.
that goes directly that afternoon to the food pantries.
A parade really is a community thing, and it really does pull people together. What are your thoughts on that, of course?
It is a time of celebration this time of year for rebirth kind of activities, if you will. And it gives folks an opportunity to come and see their neighbors and purchase. When you go down the parade, I usually bring up the rear behind Mr. and Mrs. Claus, and you see the neighbors are out there waving and having a good time, and they've brought the grandparents in with them, and the little kids got whatever handouts they got through the day and stuff like that, and they get to see. It's their first, there he is.
That's right.
Here it comes. It's the time,
That's right.
So.
Okay, how about the challenges of doing something like this?
One of the major challenges is you're using Broadway and Crystal Ave in the middle of a Saturday afternoon. Like I said, it's been 21 years, so they've got the drill down pretty good. We use Maple, Griffin, and Central Streets as some staging areas, and Broadway itself. A lot of the floats, in order to judge the floats and give out the prizes, we line those right up along Broadway, from just about the former fire station right on down to the intersection with Ford Way.
Right.
That lets the judges just make one scoot, and then we blend everybody in. The bigger people groups we kind of keep off on those side streets. The marching bands are guide up on Maple Street because the buses can drop them off at the back side.
Right.
And then they can fill Maple, and then the buses can go on down to the pickup point at Hood Plaza. The people on those side streets have been great years after years. We generally put something in their mailbox around a week before, just a reminder it's this weekend. And usually when the parade units are marshaling in those streets, the folks are out, talking to everybody and doing that. And then when the time gets ready to step off, they head up to where they can watch the thing pull together.
But that's a good point. I don't think people realize what a massive operation something like this is, and how many streets you have to utilize in order to pull this together, because if you just put everybody all in one line, that would be very difficult.
Well, we have upwards of 80 units participating, and the Londonderry band has 300 kids in it. So
yes, right. That's
a
true.
lot of
Very
space.
true. Right.
So it just takes a lot of patience. It gets a little hectic down there. We always ask that folks that are bringing kids to participate and stuff don't wait till the last minute and think you're going to drive down Broadway and drop them off right where they're going to get off.
Excellent. Steve Falconer, it's always a pleasure to meet you, and it's always a good sign of things to come.
All right, thanks, Larry.
All right, thanks.
All right.